Good morning, afternoon, evening, from wherever you're joining from. My name is Oluwayeti, and this is me saying welcome back to my channel. If you are a subscriber, if you're new here, welcome. On this channel, I talk about different things that have to do with technology, helping international students, mentorship, career growth in tech, and everything. I know I said I promised to do better this year, and this is me keeping to me keeping to my promises. And drums roll on today's episode. This is actually my very first guest, so yeah, I'm actually excited. I'm having a guest for the first time on the channel, and my name is Precious Kolawole, Kola Priscillo Pre. So before I allow her to introduce herself, today's video is all about the prestigious Google Scholarship. It used to be called the Women Technical Scholarship, but now it's called the Google Generation Scholarship. And I think it's a pleasure that both of us are scholars of this, are recipients of this scholarship. I got the scholarship when it used to be Women Tech Makers. She got the scholarship just recently when it was rebranded as Google Generation Scholarship. So if you're here because you want to learn more about this scholarship, know more about it, yeah, you have two people that would be helping you, and this video is going to be all about that. And now I'm going to open the floor for Precious to introduce herself. Hello.
Hi everyone. I'm Precious Kolawole, like she said, and I'm also a generation Google scholar, like she said. Also, I'm
Maybe you
currently
should
a dev
add
degree. What
Maybe you
did you
should
say?
add the other scholarships, the bag of scholarships, and the
Let them
upcoming
take it.
one.
Let them take it one by one. Okay. So I'm a dev degree intern at Shopify. That's where I work, and I'm a student, a computer science student at Carleton University here in Canada. I recently moved out of Nigeria, so I'm still like adjusting to everything. So yeah, let's keep going.
Awesome. Oh wow. Okay. She's just trying to be humble, but okay. No wala. We'll move. If you're not Nigerian, no wala means no problem. So no problem. Let's just move on. Um, so I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
When you were applying for this scholarship, did you ever think you were going to get it?
Obviously not. When
Like, what percentage was your confidence at least? It's not zero. So,
actually
what was it like?
some factors actually like brought the percentage like down, so it was very, very low. I would say
Wow.
something around 50-50, because
Mm,
most of the recipients of the scholarship I've seen so far, they are kind of like graduate students or like masters and PhD stuff. When
mm,
I was trying to get the scholarship, like I was just trying to like get into first year in computer science. And funniest thing, I was not coming from like I didn't have a CS background, nothing related. Like I was coming from a medical background. And on the sites, there's something like STEM related field, right? So like that
yeah.
actually brought my confidence level down a lot. But
Wow.
yeah, I was not expecting it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting to know because I think I was on that phase. I mean, I applied the third time before I got it. So for me, it was like the third time before I got the scholarship.
Okay.
So I just kept going, until I got it. So I think it's just good to hear your view about the scholarship. And it's just what say none of us were confident
Yeah.
that we're going to get it, but it was just worth giving it a try. On that note, I think building from what you mentioned, do you mind to talk about your background? Like what were you doing? What were the things, like if you can give like a highlight of the things that you were doing before you applied for this scholarship, where you're coming from and all that, so that people have an idea.
Okay. So I used to be a medical student at Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria, and not really medical student per se, because people try to like differentiate between medicine and surgery and physiotherapy. So back then I was studying physiotherapy. So I will still say I was a medical
Mm,
student.
yeah.
So during those period, I started learning how to code, and I I was able to improve my skills a lot. I did a lot of like data science and machine learning stuff and just trying to like contribute to the community and trying to like get more women into the tech space. And aside from that, I was writing article and doing all those like several gigs just to make money, you know. And yeah, that was pretty much what I was doing. And I only had like one job experience before I applied for the scholarship. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's quite interesting. Like you said, because I know what, like when I got the scholarship, it was mostly like master student. We had few undergraduate, funny enough, but we're mostly master students and postgrad PhD student. So for my own background, for those who are new here and don't know anything about me, I got the scholarship as a master student. So I studied at Sapienza University of Rome. My degree was in AI and robotics. And prior to then, I had my bachelor's in computer science and I'd worked as a software engineer for about 5 years before, so that's like my background before the scholarship. Okay, so was there anything that sort of inspired you to apply? I mean, if you ask me, the number one truth is money. Money. But
Honestly, yeah.
was there anything else apart from money that kind of just made you feel like, let me apply?
Oh, okay. The biggest motivation was money, actually. And I would also say, um, maybe for the recognition, because the first thing that
Mhm.
attracted me was that the Google Scholars names were displayed on the website. And if you just get to hop on the site, you can see like previous scholars and, having your name on the list is such a quick thing. Like very cute. So that was like the second motivation. And also another motivation would actually be like the application process when I applied was like very smooth and swift, like seamless, not complicated. And
Mm.
since I have like a lot of things are complicated about my story, and having such an application such that I can just apply by submitting an essay about
Mm.
myself, about my past life, or made everything so easy.
Things
So
that were
yeah,
reality, basically.
reality, and they just
Mhm.
wanted to evaluate me based on that. I also didn't submit any kind of like recommendation and whatnot. So I felt the application
Mhm.
process was very seamless, and it's actually made me jump on it really quick because yeah,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
felt it was really nice to just jump on something like that.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. So I would say, like, I mean, I we echo what you've mentioned about what inspired you. I think the other thing that it didn't inspire me, like, I didn't even really think of it when I applied, but if I know what I know now, and I want to like apply again. Maybe I come in another life and I want to apply again. I think something else that would have inspired me is the summits, like the scholar summit when they bring you all together. You get to like have network with other scholars. You get to speak with Google engineers because
Yeah,
the goal of the scholarship is not just that they want to give money, but they are also trying to actually recruit and increase the diversity of, as we all know, in tech, there's like a low barrier, like a very low barrier for women in tech. So it's their way to also like encourage more women in tech, especially more women getting into Google. So you have like the opportunity to meet with Google engineers. You have the opportunity to get mentor, like because you get to speak with them, and when you connect with them on LinkedIn, some of them you could just form lifelong relationships with them where
yeah.
they could be your mentor at any time when you want to get into Google. This person can be there to like, walk you through it and all of that. So I think that didn't inspire me, of course, but having now gone through
It's
that,
more like when you reflected on the journey and everything,
yes,
it was something worthwhile.
yeah, it's something worthwhile that would have actually, inspired
it's
me.
it's it's just a little bit sad that during my own time we didn't have the opportunity to have it in person. Everything was virtual. But I think you still like get the same reward no matter like
Mhm.
what mode of delivery they
Deliver, yes.
yeah they made
Yes,
it.
I agree. They still give you and I think it was the beginning of COVID that made them switch to the virtual
Yeah, exactly.
summit. But I don't think, it's much less of an experience. I mean, I did not go through it, but I think they would do their best, they would have done their best
And
to
I think we got the same swags as you guys also.
yeah, was it? I think they change the swags every year, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that I think I remember you snapped the swag. It was different. For us, they gave us umbrella, Google Home Mini, which is like
oh,
what was raining at that time. They gave us like a bag. I think you mentioned that bag too. It's something
yeah, I got it back.
I really like the bag too. I still use the
So
bag.
pretty. I have it here.
Wow. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Ours is oh my goodness. This
So
is really
big.
beautiful.
And you
Ours is
can just like
actually oh wow. Wow. Mine is different from this, but it's actually something like this. Like all this small bag that you could like travel small bag.
travel.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I really
very
like it.
light, it's very durable. Like I still you can imagine from 20, I've traveled a lot since 2019.
You see, and it's still like
And I'm still using
intact.
the I'm still using the bag. Was there, I think the next question would be, was there any challenge that you faced during, so I'll just divide it into pre-application once you
Okay.
applied and oh, let me into two pre-application and post-application. Yeah, was there any
Okay.
challenge that you faced and how did you, work like solve it?
Okay. One challenge I kind of like faced was with the aspect where I needed to submit my transcript because I
Mm,
think as someone who studies in Nigeria, you have to like getting your transcript is not something that is easy, right? But God
yeah.
kind of like helped me in the process, but still I still like the stress was crazy. But I
Wow.
connected with like a part advisor in my school, and it was very rigorous, but at the end I was able to get it. So getting my transcript was like a pain in my ass when I
Mm,
was trying to like submit my application. And when it comes to like post application, no,
post-application.
no, after,
Yeah,
I
post.
don't want to like miss it. Post, what's the word? Like after submitting the application, one challenge I also had was when I got the application, when I got accepted, they wanted me to submit what is this thing called? My tax information for me to claim
Hmm.
the money.
That's
And during this
interesting.
period, yeah, I was just like 18, 19, and I've never heard of like tax stuff in my life before that, right? So I
Wow.
had to like visit the local tax office in my area. And when I visited the place, everything in Nigeria is complicated. Honestly, I was stressed, like this stressed the hell out of my life.
Wow.
But also, I think God's favor has always been working. Eventually, someone I met, like a man I met at the tax office, helped me out, and I was able to get my tax ID. So I submitted the tax ID. And another challenge I also had was when I wanted to claim the money.
Wow.
They wanted me to submit because my school is a Canadian university, so they wanted me to submit a Canadian bank account to claim the money. And back then, I was still in Nigeria. I don't know if I should even rush people through my story because
I think you should. Yeah.
yeah, because everything when I applied
I'm
in
sure the
like
can benefits. Yeah.
2022 or 2021 late December, that was when I submitted my application. So I got an offer with a school in the United States, Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville. That was the school I wanted to go, right? So in my initial application, I specified that I was going to SIUE in the United States. So I submitted the application and they got back to us around like May 2022, like very long after waiting for a long time. So they got back to us in 2022 May, and then I submitted my transcript after I submitted the documents they requested. But when I got the approval, got accepted, I got into a new university. And now it's like Carleton University in Canada.
Mm.
So I needed to change the school name. So I resubmitted my new school application offer letter. I resubmitted that one. So when they got it, I think there was like a mistake in the process of like verifying the school and everything. So when my name was displayed on the Google website, my whole school was showing instead of the new school you get. So my money in my offer letter, they said I was going to get 10,000 US dollars. But when and in the same email, they said I was going to get 10,000 US dollars. In the same email, I checked my name on the website and I was seeing SIUE, right? Because if you are from the United States, you are eligible for $10K, but if you are in Canada, it's just $5K, right? So I had to email them, okay, this is the wrong school. You people need to fix this. And
Oh
then when
my.
she responded, she was like, okay, we are going to fix this, but you won't be
But
qualified for $10K anymore. That's to be $5K. Oh my God. I
wow.
was very sad. But anyways, when I was back to what I was saying the other time, when I wanted to claim the money, I needed to like submit a Canadian university or a Canadian bank account, but I
Hmm.
didn't have any. And all of those Canadian banks are very, very strict. Like they did not want to open one for me because I think the fact that I'm from Nigeria self is I was like one shot down, you know.
Yeah.
So I kind of like struggled through it and I eventually got a bank, not like all this elite bank, but one of the banks who was able to like
Do you
create one
mind
for me.
mentioning the name of the bank?
Desjardins Ontario Bank. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were able to open it for me and yeah, I was able to claim my scholarship fund after.
Wow. So did they open it before you even went to Canada or
They opened
after?
it for me before I went to Canada.
Oh, wow. What did they require anything of you that had to do with Canada or something?
They only requested for my own international passport. I submitted it. And I think they also requested for my visa. I think that time my visa application was already successful. So they
Okay.
requested for like a screenshot of it or something, like a scan. I
Yeah.
scanned it to them. And aside from that, I think that was everything. And also my offer letter from school
Yeah, I was
in
thinking about
Carlton.
that. Like,
So they requested for that one as well. And they also
wow.
wanted to know where I will be living once I come here. And since I'm staying on campus here in Carlton, so it was like an easy process.
Oh, wow. That was quite a journey. I didn't have to face all of that because I mean, I was working before master, so
And I think you were already in your school
I was already,
then.
yeah, it
So
was
you
like,
have the bank account, you have everything.
yeah, I had already done like first semester, before the scholarship came through. So I can't even really relate. What they just wanted me to report was my first semester results because
Oh yeah.
it was my first semester just to ascertain that I'm still in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was what they asked of me. Well, I am sure like people will yeah will learn from that. But I wanted to also mention that so for those who are wondering, like this Google scholarship is like across different globes. So they have for US, which as she mentioned is 10,000 USD. For Canada, so if your university is in Canada, it's 5,000. For me, I was in Europe. So the Europe, our own is called the EMEA. So it means Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So
Yeah.
anybody from any of those regions can apply. And ours was seven as at that time. I don't know about now. I think it's still the same, but it was
Mhm.
7,000 euros. So it depends
Still the same.
wherever you are will determine like how much how much they will give you.
So just to chip in, I think
Yeah.
most of the audience also they are kind of like Nigerians. So I would say even if your university is not outside of Nigeria, if you are attending all these Nigerian universities, you
Yeah.
are eligible. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I remember there was somebody from a university in Mauritius, which is in Africa anyway. And if you even check the websites, like the list of past scholars, you will see people
Yeah.
from Covenant, people from Lautech,
Exactly.
and yeah, there was someone in my own cohort that was from Lautech, Ladoke Akintola University. So it's not I have to like travel out. If you're an undergrad in any university in Nigeria and you are studying a STEM related, I mean, is it STEM or I think it's tech related, not really
Yeah,
STEM.
they said CS and other related fields.
Yeah, maybe something like electrical, electronics, engineering,
Yeah,
computer
software
science, information
engineering. Yeah.
science, things like that. You could game, even if it's something has to do with game or whatever,
Yeah,
just go for it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be when you're abroad that you can
honestly.
apply. um, are there any tips you want to share regards your application process? And
Okay.
was there an interview for you?
Okay, during my time, we didn't have any interview. I only submitted the essay. I submitted my school transcript. I
Mhm.
submitted what else again? My school offer letter, and that was everything. They evaluated us based on the essay. So that's kind of going to even like take me to the aspect of tips for applicants, because if your own or if the timeline during your time is also like mine, that means they will only be evaluating you based on your essay. So I would say all your chances are on the essay, right? So you just have to like showcase yourself as much as you can in just that like 500 words count. Yeah, just try and put everything in there. Okay. And I would say be intentional when you are writing your essay. Make sure every word in your essay, make sure they count. Be intentional. And also when you are writing the essay, they just don't want to like know you shabbily. Like it has to be specific to you and the things you've done in the past. And also when you are talking about the things you've done in the past, related to the impact you've made in around you in your community. It can even be something very small. It doesn't really matter, but try and be impactful in your essay. Show impact
Mm,
and show that you are underrepresented. I know everyone is underrepresented, obviously, but try and communicate it in your essay, right? They want
yeah.
to hear something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's like I didn't even I didn't really I can't remember what the essays were, because I think they even change it per year or something like that. But yeah, your essay have to be strong. Trust me. Like
Yeah,
even me when I submitted for the third time, I knew that there was a difference between that essay and the ones that
the previous ones.
the
That's
previous
it.
ones because it's every year and I had done like new things, more impactful things. I had
Yeah.
led like communities and things like that. So it was such a punchline for me, doing the essay and make, like she said, make it very personal to you. Feel free to talk about your story, your background. Don't be ashamed of anything because, in
Mhm.
fact, that thing that you feel like you should be ashamed of could be what
Honestly, that thing you are ashamed of, that's what they want to hear.
that's the one because I remember like I really said some things and like my about my background and all of those things like so most of us we are not from like the
I think there is one thing in my story that makes those people to be like, oh, she must be the one. Like when I was trying, like when I started coding, I think I was using my phone to code
phone.
back then.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and it's really an embarrassing thing because most people out of Nigeria, like those that are very much privileged, they don't
Western
have to
world.
like go through this, right? But
Yeah.
I wrote it there. I was using my phone. No, I'm not. When I don't have laptop, you know.
Oh my
So
days.
I think that kind of like
Yeah,
increased
yeah,
my
I
chances of getting.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, you never can tell the little detail that could
Mhm.
really like I mean, for me, like I wrote there that my very first introduction or to AI was through a movie that I saw after the
You see?
September 11 bombing, blah blah blah. They were trying to predict the act of terror. I built my journey from there and how I started, blah blah blah. So I mean, don't hold the information back.
Yeah,
Like,
don't hold
make
them
sure
back.
that you put those punchlines in the limit because there's a limit that you have for the essay. So
Mhm.
make sure that you don't just write things that are useless. But what makes you stand out? They are reading many essays. When they read your first, second paragraph, why should they be more interested? Like, this is somebody that is
Interested.
bored. They have read many essays, but they get to yours and they are alive. That is the
Mhm.
kind of, that's the kind of things that you want to write. Precious, your reaction is something else.
Remind me, I'm just feeling you.
Oh my days. But yeah, that's how your essay should be. Should be something that when they are sleeping, like they come to yours, their eyes are wide out, they are sitting up and like, wow, that's how that's how you actually
Yeah.
prove yourself. Because I mean, yeah. And I mean, these are an opportunity to say I review essays. I do it for free
Mhm.
anyway, because I mean,
I wanted to say like they should have someone review their essay
yeah.
because sometimes you feel like you've written everything, like
Mm.
everything is perfect and up to par, but when someone else picks it up or more, they just start saying errors and blunders. She reviewed my essay for me, and thanks to her, like I was able to get it, honestly, because I remember the first feedback she gave me when she read my essay. She was like, "Oh, like I nearly cried." But honestly,
Oh
it
my
really helped
days.
me in the application. Yeah, it's really helped. So have someone review your essay for you.
Yeah, very important. If you go to oluayeti.com, you find how you can submit
Yeah.
your essay through that. Do you have any like final tips, whatever, for anyone who is intending to apply?
I would say just be yourself. And if you get rejected, be yourself actually. And if you get rejected, it's fine. Like, don't see it as like the end of the world if you don't get this money. I know I call them like sweet money, but if you don't get it, it's fine. And you can always apply, like she said. So don't feel down because your first trial does not like work through. It's okay. It's okay to be rejected sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, to be honest. Like, I mean, it took the third attempt for me to get it. And for me, for my own side, I'll just finish with this. Like there was an interview for us. So after the essay, they called us for an interview. And the interview is not like write code or technical questions or whatever. It's just to get familiar more with you, ask you more in-depth questions. And it's I see it as a psychological attempt to make sure that what you have written in your essay is like true. So they are like diving deeper into the things that you have written in your essay, and you just to be sure that you are not lying. So I mean, before your interview, what you want to do is like get yourself familiar with what you've written in your essay and things like that. If you talked about the technical project, go and like maybe review that technical project just to get yourself up to speed in case it has been a long time that you worked on it. Maybe they could ask you like the challenges you faced, or how many team members, what was your position, and things like that. So it's just getting yourself ready and be able to back up what you are written in your essay. And I think that's it. I think that's it for us. Precious, I know you have a YouTube channel. Yeah, do you want to like give 1 minute?
Okay. Oh yeah. She inspired me to actually start working on my own channel as well. And I pretty much just talk about like helping tech newbies get started in tech, like talking about
Yeah,
the
tech
challenges,
newbies.
tech newbies,
Yeah.
yeah, the challenges I've faced in the past, and making sure you don't go through that much stress as you are walking along the same path. Yeah, that's what the content is majorly focused on. And yeah, just tips and tips here and there to help people become their better selves. Yeah. And it's like, okay, URL, it's just Presilio. Just type youtube.com/Presilio. Yeah, it will take you
Okay.
there.
Presilio, is it Pre? Do you want to?
Now the name is complicated. We can actually edit the video and add it to it.
Okay.
Precillio.
Okay. That means yeah, we have to like add it. All right,
Yeah,
that's all
we
right.
add
I'll
it for
put it in
them.
the description box anyway. All right, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, please share this video if you know someone who is applying, or if you know someone who you think needs to hear about the scholarship. You may be watching this not just for you, but you know someone who is like that could be eligible for this. Please share with them, share these tips with them, let them know that it's possible. It's not like rocket science, to be honest. I know many Nigerians, I know many Africans that have gotten this scholarship, and I mean, you could be one of them. The person you know could be one of them. There's nothing like saying they can't be, as long as they put up essays that stand out amidst the crowd. So please do share with them. And I'll see you in my next channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.